So my name, like I said, is Ciara. I'm a Jersey-based actress, dancer, and artist. Currently, I host dance and acting classes for ages 3 to 103, and I work with children, teaching them how to be leaders all across the East Coast, with Amoria, too. Today, I want to talk about racial healing of my own, in my own life. And that is that I never felt like I had anything to heal from, racially at least. I was raised in East Orange, New Jersey, which is ill town. We have the highest percentage of black people in all of New Jersey. So I never really acknowledged the fact that I was black. Well, I did, but not in a way that society probably would have liked me to. I love being black and everything that came with it. I lived on a cul-de-sac in the hood that I didn't really realize was the hood. And I played in the street with 3 other black girls on the block year-round for hours on end, always coming in right before the street lights came on. My family is half from Georgia, so summers were spent barefoot in the suburban country with my black cowboy uncles. So all that should kind of cue you into my experience and what it was like growing up. BLACK, black, very black, all around. So even so much that I didn't go to school with a black person until 11th grade. And she was a 6th grader, so I did not know that girl. I had my experiences with white people and other races through outside programs, but until high school, I wasn't even sure they existed in the town. Basically, I never really factored my race into anything that I did growing up. I've always been one thing for sure, and that was an independent girl. Black girl, yes, but that for me was always a given because of my environment. I was educated about our experiences, struggle, and slaughter. I lived life knowing that there was a difference between black people and the way we were treated based on our outward experiences and appearances. But a lot of my personal perspective was from within our own community, not from the outside eye. Like, yeah, duh, we know we're black, but we only clocked it enough as much as you and your cousins need to properly clown one another on being a little too light-skinned. So, of course, when you think of the world in the 2000s, you can understand how racial stereotypes could have easily played a part in our existence. But we weren't thinking that. At first, I thought all preconceived notions of me were tied to my age, boisterous personality, and gender. Being a black girl was so much of a given that I probably wouldn't have even noticed someone being prejudiced because of the color I was blessed with, until maybe middle school, realistically. I was also a great kid. So that's what happens when you're raised as an only child by 5 40-year-old black women. We have impeccable manners and taste in music, and I was basically 40 years old myself. So, in being a good kid, deep down I felt it was my duty to every chance I got, explain and let people know that not all kids suck, okay? There are good kids out there. Why do we do that? I have no clue. But as I got older and 2014 came around, I was exposed to social media's point of view of black people, one that I never got before. I was made aware of the different subsets of black people, our stereotypes, and how wrong that they were. That was where I can now clock the unconscious switch in me from not all kids suck to not all black people are the same. Black people like STEM too. We can be ghetto and classy. Now, it never came from the place of feeling better than anyone. I wasn't even considering anyone else but myself and really how other people should check their own perspectives and prejudices of black people. Because, honey, we gonna make you think, okay? I was the visual artist, robotics team manager. I was on Honor Society. I was the Costco candy bar dealer. I love spending summers in college readiness programs, writing, earning credits, doing research on GMOs for DC competitions just to turn around that weekend and go to a DJ Lil Man Jersey Club basement party doing hood rat stuff with my friends. So I began to fall in love with shattering people's preconceived notions of me based on what I look like. Especially because, thanks to my very involved mother, I was always doing something, whether it was an oratorical competition or some type of summer program where I was constantly put in spaces where there were so many people who clearly never interacted with black folk or had such stupid stereotypes engraved in their brains to the point where I felt I had to make sure that they knew that we were amazing all around and oh so capable, you know? This meant that I felt it was my job to constantly be the token girl, independent beyond belief, but more specifically, black girl. Not too loud, just pretty enough, just enough hair, just enough body, just enough ghetto, just enough intelligence, just enough to keep me in a state of limbo. I was attempting to be the every girl of black girls. That's when I felt the wound. As much as it was exhausting, the confusing part was that it all felt natural. To be all things, to be hood, classy, techie, artsy. So why did it always feel like I was doing work that people had never seen before, even though I see it all the time? Why did it feel like I was showing them some wildly unknown version of black people when that version exists for me through all the people I see on a daily? I was learning to be me while people try to categorize me. But I'm a black Pisces woman, so I am all categories. I know that I was beginning to heal when I realized that it's not my job to change someone's notion of me because they're too dense to check themselves. That's what I had to heal from, thinking that it was my job, thinking that I had to let white people know that black people are amazing. Why do we do that? I don't know. Maybe it's because we're so aware of our incorrect portrayal in media and TV. I don't know. I didn't see enough variety of black folk reflecting the people that I saw in my community on a daily. So I felt like I had to bring my community everywhere that I went. And as much as I love to do so, naturally, I was doing it at a rate that was unhealthy for me. I was tired because I was doing these multitude of things that you can now see we're capable of doing. I knew I could juggle all these things. That's why I tried as many times as I did succeed. But when I failed, it felt like it was an utter collapse. Not just for me as a person, but as a black woman. Because, when you fail, you either bring down everyone's expectations of you, or you prove them right. And I didn't know what was worse. But now I do. What is worse is not living for me. What's worse is thinking that I needed to prove anything to anybody. That's when I realized I was healing. When I began fully living for me. Now, unfortunately, that realization came to me a little late in my experience. So for the past 2 and 3 years, I felt like I had no energy for the things that I wanted to do in my life. Adulting is hard, as we all know. I'm 25 and I've been renting for 4 years, and oh my gosh. I wasn't in the mode. I wasn't in girl mode or black mode or anything mode. I was exhausted, I was depressed and drained of creativity and inspiration. My only goal was survival. But thankfully, as every day passes, as I allow myself to try new things again, doing so slowly and for me, I am rejuvenated with the passion of creation, especially being in rooms with people like you, so I appreciate you all for that. Now my goal is to make sure that I spend my time and energy across the things that matter to me and the people that matter to me, doing the things that I enjoy in my life, filling the media's gaps when it comes to black culture, especially young black, multi-talented folk. That is a goal of mine I'm set on accomplishing, which is 100% letting the people of the world know how multi-hyphenate we are as a people, but not all the damn time. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.